Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about breaking down big, powerful ideas into simple guides you can actually use. And today, ma'am, we are tackling a huge one, making money and creating real, lasting wealth, all based on the amazing work of Philip Humbert. We're going to distill his core philosophy into a super clear plan for your financial future. And hey, if you get something out of this guide, do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of the community.
So the source material kicks off with this really blunt question. The author calls it a modern tragedy. And honestly, it's the central problem we're going to try and solve right here, right now. Now, you might be thinking, well, the problem is we just don't have enough information. But think about it. We are drowning in information. Books, news, seminars, you name it. If knowing more was the answer, wouldn't we all be millionaires by now? And that leads us to probably the single most important idea in this entire philosophy. His point is that even messy, clumsy, inefficient action gets you results. Information, on the other hand, is totally worthless if you just let it sit there and do nothing with it. So our goal today isn't just to learn some new stuff. It's to find one clear action you can take the second this is over. Okay, so where does that action begin? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in your mindset. The very first, and I mean most essential, step to building wealth is to completely change how you think about what money actually is. You know that paper in your wallet, the coins in your pocket? They don't have any real value on their own. They're just symbols. The only reason they work is because all of us, as a society, have agreed that they represent value. At its core, money is just an idea. And this is a brilliant way to illustrate that point. To really get how fragile this whole idea of money can be, the author tells this unforgettable story from Germany right after World War I. Just let that sink in for a minute. The actual paper money had become so worthless because of hyperinflation that people just lost all faith in it. The physical wheelbarrow was literally more valuable than a mountain of cash. That's what happens when that social agreement, that shared idea, just falls apart. It proves that it's not the money that matters, it's the value behind it. And boom, there it is, the big takeaway for you. The secret to getting rich isn't about chasing dollar bills. It's about creating value. Solve a problem for someone, provide a great service, build something people need, create something that other people genuinely want and are happy to exchange their value for. All right, so if the name of the game is create value, the next obvious question is how? How do we actually do that? Well, let's break down the 4 main paths you can take to get to financial freedom. This chart right here tells a really powerful story. See, most of us live on the left side. We're either an employee or self-employed, basically trading our time directly for money. And as you can see, the wealth potential and the tax efficiency, they're pretty low. The huge fundamental shift happens when you move to the right side of this chart. Wealthy people don't just work in a system, they own the system, either through a business or through investments. That's the zone where your money starts working for you, and it is by far the most powerful and efficient path to building real wealth.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Moving from the left side of that chart to the right side can feel, well, impossible. But the author lays out this incredibly simple technique that can work for absolutely anyone, no matter what path you're on right now. It's a way to build some serious wealth by tapping into one of the most powerful forces in the entire universe.
Take a good look at this number, almost $1 million. What if I told you that this is what you could have in 30 years just by putting aside $250 a month and getting a pretty standard market return? It sounds like magic, but it's not. It's the raw, undeniable power of what Albert Einstein supposedly called the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest.
So how do you make an incredible number like that a reality for yourself? Well, it boils down to 3 simple, non-negotiable rules. First, you have to pay yourself first. Before the rent, before the phone bill, that money goes to your future. It's an act of discipline. Second, you invest for the long haul. We're not talking about gambling or trying to get rich quick. We're talking about solid, boring, long-term growth. And third, and this is the absolute key, you never ever touch it. This money is for building your fortune, period.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Remember? None of this information matters one bit if we don't take that first, real, tangible step. So let's make this practical. Look, to keep from getting overwhelmed, the trick is to just pick one of these and start today.
You could track every penny you spend for 1 month to finally get a clear picture of where it's all going. Or even better, you could go to your bank's website right now while you're thinking about it and set up that automatic transfer. Or you could commit right now to attacking that high-interest credit card debt. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. Just pick one. The goal is to build momentum.
And that leads us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. Because when you get right down to it, this was never really about the money. Building wealth isn't the end goal. It's just a tool. It's a tool that gives you the freedom and the power to make a real difference, to contribute, to build something magnificent. So the real question is, what are you going to do with your fortune? Hey, if this explainer sparked an idea or got you fired up, subscribe to the channel, give this a like, and tell us in the comments what your first action step is going to be. Thanks for watching.